Good evening, I'm Paul Adler. Abortion restrictions and new penalties are the focus of the Missouri State Legislature. Republicans say the bill they passed is an important step for the state. Democrats call it campaigning. Our Missouri Capitol reporter Hannah Falcon has both sides and what's next. Hannah.
Well, party priorities became very clear today as lawmakers gave their first stamp of approval to several bills. There's still several steps until any of these bills land on the governor's desk, but what's clear right now is that the Republicans continue to prioritize restrictions on abortion. When you hear that buzzer, it means Missouri lawmakers are approving their first bills of the year. First up, for the Missouri House of Representatives, a bill on abortion.
This is a very important step to encouraging life and having a culture of life in the state of Missouri.
Republican Representative Brian Seitz pushed for this bill year after year. It promises the right to health care for any baby born alive after a failed abortion. Abortion providers could face the death penalty if malpractice is found under this bill.
Missouri Republicans continue to focus on wedge issues. They continue to focus on the things that divide Missourians. They continue to focus on things that Missourians are not talking about day in and day out.
Democratic Representative Ashley Ani says this bill only opens up abortion providers to lawsuits.
This is nothing more than campaign messaging.
This has nothing to do with politics.
Seitz responds to the minority party by saying he's unconcerned about his next election. The Branson Republican championed anti-abortion legislation for years.
Any legislator worth their salt would understand that once a baby is born, even having survived the abortive attempt, that's a human being and deserving of respect and health care.
This is absolutely the wrong thing for Missouri, the Missouri legislature to be focused on.
Last year, Seitz was the sponsor of a resolution to reverse Amendment 3, which is the amendment that made abortion legal again in Missouri. In November, Missourians will head to the polls to vote on that resolution and whether or not to put restrictions back on abortion. Reporting live in Jefferson City, I'm Hannah Falcon, KY3 News.